Bonjour, alors comment allez-vous? Moi ça va bien, merci. Alors dans cette vidéo, nous allons parler, we are going to talk about the present tense endings, how to build it in French. So it's not that difficult actually for regular verbs, and we are going to see why, because it depends on the group of the verbs, and it's easy for the first and the second group. Let's see why. With the first group of verbs. This first group of verbs, all the verbs of this group have their ending, the infinitive ending in e, er, and they are all regular with one exception, the verb aller, to go. But we have a lot of verbs in this category, so it's easy to remember. Let's take the example of the verb chanter, to sing in French. Here we have our 6 forms, and these forms are the infinitive form, chanter. So we need to remove the infinitive ending, and we've got our stem. Now we just need the present tense endings, which is this way. Well, the first forms, the singular forms, we don't pronounce the letter E at the end. We just emphasize the consonant before. So here, the pronunciation of the first form is chante. We don't say chante. We just say chante. You can't hear the last letter because it's the letter E, but you can hear the consonant before. We have now to just add the subjects of each form, and we have the present tense, first group. The pronunciation is je chante, tu chantes, il chante, nous chantons, vous chantez, il chante. Here you can notice that we don't pronounce for the last plural form the N nor the letter T. Just again, we emphasize the last T before the E, so il chante, the same pronunciation that the singular form. Okay? As I said, it's a rule, it's regular, and it works for all the verbs of the first group except aller. Let's speak now about the second group. The second group, the infinitive form, the ending is IR in French, ir. And we have this example of the verb finir, to finish or to end. Again, our 6 forms. And again, we are going to remove the infinitive ending, and we've got our stem. And now look at the present tense endings for the second group. It's a bit different. It's a bit different, but again, the first forms have the same pronunciation. So we are going to add again our subject to all forms, and now we've got the present tense of the second group for this example. So je finis, tu finis, il finit, the same pronunciation. Nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent. Again, because we don't pronounce for this form nor the N nor the T, so we just emphasize the letter S, ils finissent. That's the way we say it. So now let's speak about the third group, and comes complications here. Why? Because most, or not to say all, the verbs of this group are irregular, and it's hard to find a rule. So let's just say, and we are going to take the example of the verb partir, to leave, so 6 form. But it's just actually an example, because not all verbs of this group work like that. So here, partir, we are going to remove the ending, including the letter T, and now we add the present tense ending here, and sometimes you can see the letter T and sometimes no. With the proper subject, we are going to have the pronunciation of this verb. Je pars, tu pars, il part. Nous partons, vous partez, ils partent. Again, for this last form, we are going to emphasize the T, ils partent. Okay? So as I said, the third group, most of the verbs are irregular. and you need to learn them. We have in French about 300 irregular verbs that you will need to learn. So that's why it's a bit difficult to speak about this tense. Maintenant c'est fini. Alors merci d'avoir suivi cette vidéo avec moi. Je vous dis à bientôt, n'oubliez pas de vous abonner, d'en parler à vos amis. Et bien sûr, au revoir et bon français!